confidence is you could fake it till you make it, but also faking it.
Jump scare. I'm bi.
Actually
So
I guess. And I'm like, well, what would have gave it away?
right. Thank you.
But it's I guess in my relationship it's I don't even know. I don't know how to put it in words. I could just compare it to what it was before him and then now. Like I said, I was in a very toxic relationship before. Neurospicy, neurodivergent. I have a touch of ADHD, a dash of OCD. I went through depression, anxiety, I got PTSD. There's a lot that comes with me. So him being able to accept all of that, my child, and everything else I got going with me was just like a breath of fresh air.
And when you say, Black women were always caregivers, we also suck at receiving care. The byproduct of capitalism is to always be in summer, which means production, which means marathon, which means creating, which means go fast. That's what causes burnout.
Mercy. Are we? Oh, lovely, delightful. Okay. Welcome back, everybody, for part 2 of this Mind of a Woman session with my wonderful, beautiful human beings. This really does feel interview style now that you are all sitting across from me. I do want to continue to keep this conversational. This is part 2. The first part of this conversation was so phenomenal, and I'm just so entirely grateful that we have all opened up and that we are honestly just being vulnerable with each other for the first time, because y'all are strangers.
Wait a minute.
Don't know.
So I love it here. Now we all just cutting up. And I love it.
We done got comfortable.
I love it. I just love this so much. Okay, so we're gonna hop back into it. We ended off by talking about relationship styles. We're talking a lot about invisible identity, right? The identities that we have that may not necessarily be present when we are perceived by other people, right? So this idea of like, who are we, or what are the things that we are bringing into the room that may not necessarily be 100% at the forefront of how people see us or receive that. And so we're going to be transitioning just a little bit here today, and I'm super excited to talk more about like the healing, right? As we had mentioned previously, we are all in different seasons of life. The longer that we're here, we will always have something that we are coming out of and going into, right? Or growing into, even better, right? So I'm curious, what are some healing practices, some tools, some strategies? What are the things that you have in your own tool belt that have been helpful for you along this journey?
Go first. Go ahead, girl.
Self-care, putting as a priority for myself, has been a better tool. Like I said before, I was a people pleaser, so I was always putting myself last. And I tend to try to navigate now putting myself first and checking in with myself before I do any activities, before I sign myself for any commitments or anything like that, either at work or with friends or things like that. I check in with myself first. As well as spiritually, I was a church kid too, church girl, went through church Wednesday through Sunday with my grandmother. But I strayed away from the church because of different teachings and things like that. But I came back as an adult, and a spiritual journey is what I'm on now. And with that spiritual journey, I'm growing and learning to connect with earth more. So I learned that like water is my cleansing. Yeah. I gotta be in water. If I need to reset, get me in some water. So whenever I feel like I'm things are just, I can't get my head together. I'm irritated. I'm this or that. I either got to jump in the shower or I'm like, look, we're going to the beach this weekend. So I need to put my feet in the ocean. So those are a little bit of the things that I'm kind of learning and adding into myself.
Awesome. Thank you.
Welcome.
I'll say one of mine. I actually started this. It's just like I never meditated before, and it's like this It's like breath healing, breath and sound. And so I started it with a group, like virtually, where he would like, or she, either one of them would like say certain things, it would like make a sound, and you would have to take these certain breaths, and like it's like you would feel lightheaded, and you like envision your life and how you want it to be, and try to like manifest things into your life. And so I started by doing that, and then I tried to incorporate that more into just me doing something by myself, some type of like learning how to manifest more, because sometimes I noticed back in my life I would always like expect bad. And if good things happen, I would be like, oh, happy about it. But now I just try to like manifest good. And I, say affirmations every day. And just, I listen to things on YouTube that just kind of build my spirits up every day, like, and make it very intentional every day. Or like, and I have got a bunch of like self-help books. And even if I don't read nothing but like one little, like, I love poems. So I read one little poem a day or something just to kind of keep me going or keep me happy or just keep me in some type of good spirit. So it's pretty much mine for right now.
Consistently pouring in and not waiting till you're depleted completely.
Yes. And things that make me feel good every day. Like, for instance, like I like when my nails are done. I use, it made me mad when they wasn't done right, but we getting better. So, just being more, just pouring into myself in ways that make me feel good and make me feel good, like, or make me feel better as a person. If I need to want to get some coffee every day, I'm gonna go get me a coffee every day. If that's what makes me feel good every day.
Yeah.
So just figuring out like what I need for that day to feel good for that day, on top of the affirmations, on top of the manifesting a good day, so that I won't be down.
It's like little deposits of joy.
There you go. Yes.
Glimmers.
Glimmers.
I like what you said about reconnecting to the earth, because that has been a part of my spiritual journey. So I just got this like ancestral download about 3 years ago, and I had talked to an advisor at the time, and she said, your feet need to be in some grass. And of course I moved to Philly. But a lot of people don't realize that Philly has I think the highest concentration of urban parks in the country. And so while the apartment that I chose wasn't the best fit, now the one that I have a beautiful garden space, and Ashley, you've been there, so you see what it looks like. And I've also been on this herbalism journey. And so really connecting to the earth in those really tangible ways, being able to put my fingers and hands in some dirt and some soil, and seeing my plant babies grow and seeing them die. I remember I cried when my first sunflower died. But
talk after this.
Yeah, but it taught me so much. Like, my plants teach me, I teach them. And so that has been a healing tool for me, just to recenter. And I'm so blessed and grateful that I've been able to curate that for myself, where my garden is right there. So like, I love community gardens, but like, I don't want to have to travel. I don't want to have to travel to be connected to the earth. And so yeah, that's been usually it's a morning ritual. I go out and then, I pray, I bless. How y'all doing today? I might water, I might make some tea for them too, just like they're my babies and my children too. And it's really just connecting me back to myself in ways that I couldn't imagine before.
I love that. And that last piece of what you just said, I think, is the key part, right? You hear these terms like self-love, self-care, and they have become such big parts of the cultural zeitgeist, or like they kind of mean nothing because they're overused. And so this intentionality of how do we pour back into ourselves? How do we replenish our cup? How do we love on ourselves in ways that are meaningful, helpful, and effective are really the root of that. And one of the things that I have really been thinking about in terms of my own healing practices are, what are the things that I value the most, and how am I orienting my time to align with those things? And recognizing that there are core values that will always be inherent and true. And there are things that might be more prevalent or more important now than 2 years ago or 2 years from now. And so I think about it. I just bought a car earlier this year, and when I was looking to buy a car, I test drove so many different vehicles, and I ended up getting a 2016 Volkswagen EOS. A Volkswagen EOS is a 2-door coupe convertible. And, and I remember like my mom being like, that is so impractical. Like, why would you buy a coupe convertible? Like, why would you buy a car so old? Why? And I was like, well, this is what I want. And I don't want anything that would mean that I would have to put it in the back seat because ain't no space back there, no way, except for my reusable bags and my pocketbook. That's it, right? And so a part of my healing practice is making choices and decisions that best align with whatever I desire and what brings me joy right now in this moment, and knowing that that marker can move and allowing it to move, right? Instead of making the right, sensible, reasonable, responsible choice and decision. And that has been so freeing in so many ways to be able to say, a couple of weeks ago, I literally woke up at like 4:00 in the morning and I was like, I want to go watch the sunrise at the beach right now. And I literally hopped in my car and drove an hour and a half to the beach. I should have checked the weather because it was definitely foggy. I ain't seen not a sunrise, not the ocean. But it was one of those things where I was just like, oh, this is what brings me joy. Finding pockets of joy, being able to provide experiences for myself is something that is important and valuable to me. And so that is kind of like the healing practice that has been really, really meaningful for me in this season of life, to say, what do I want and how can I give that to myself? Right. And so I guess my next question is, because I often see the women around me really making more space for that and making more space for their joy, how do you reclaim that for yourselves without getting sucked into the trap of guilt or feeling like it needs to be earned, or that, you're not worthy of that, or that I have to prioritize everything else? But how do you reclaim joy, and what does that journey look like for you?
I'm at the very beginning of that journey.
Yeah.
Because I've switched from different types of guilt. I've switched from when I was single and without children and stuff like that. I switched from the guilt of having joy because I felt like I had to make sure everybody else was good type of joy. And now that I'm married and a mom, I'm like, but the kids, do I need to bring the kids? If I go to the store, I can't go to the store without buying them something because I have guilt. Like, all right, I got me something, I got to get the kids something, or I got to get my husband something. So I'm at the very beginning of that stage. I'm still trying to figure out how I can find pockets of joy and just enjoy them fully without worrying about feeling guilty. So I'm in the stage 0.
Yeah, I'm where she is too.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah,
it's rough.
I feel guilty about everything, especially taking a job away from my kids. I still feel guilty. Like every little thing I do, if I buy myself something, I feel like I gotta buy them something. So it's something in my cart for me and it's something that's gonna be for them. Like I think being a parent, I don't think guilt goes away because even when they're grown, I have a 21-year-old, and even with her being grown, like if she gotta buy stuff for herself or do things for herself, I feel bad because I'm like, dang, I should have did it. I need to be able to do that for her and the other kids. Or when all actuality, shoot, I paid for a lot her whole life, but I still feel guilty with every little thing. I feel guilty if I'm taking a nap and my daughter is taking my son to football practice because I'm like, dang, I'm away taking a nap because I'm tired and she over here doing this. So it's just, I don't know how to get out of that because I have kids.
Yeah.
So.
And maybe the question then becomes, instead of how do we not feel guilty about it, is to feel the feelings, but still make the choice and decision about prioritizing and honoring ourselves.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? Like, it's the same thing kind of with boundaries, right? Like when you set a boundary, you can still feel a little anxious, nervous, or like guilty about setting the boundary in certain cases and situations. But I'm still going to set that boundary, right? We still going to set that boundary. We're still going to make sure that we prioritize at the end of the day that this is something that's valuable and important to me. And this is how I make it possible with the choices and actions that I live with and exist in.
Yeah, for me, I think how I've reclaimed joy has been, I just do what I want. I mean, I'm just so grateful and thankful that I'm in the season of independence and I get to have the freedom to kind of move in and out when I want, because the first decade of my career, so I started working in arts administration and cultural preservation work when I was in college. So when I was like 20, I was starting working in the industry. And I was focused. I was like, I'm on that career ladder. You know, that's the main thing. And like, yeah, I got a relationship on the side, but like, I got to move up, move up, move up. And everyone was like, Precious, one day you'll be an executive director. One day you're going to own your own nonprofit. You're going to do your own thing. And then I just crashed and burned. I burned. And I was like, I actually just want space where I work to live. I don't live to work.
Yeah.
I just want the bills to be paid, and then I have the rest for me. I want to make space for my friends. I want to make space for my joy. I want to also have some joy in my work too, but also I know that this is a very transactional relationship. I'm not going to make it clear. You know what I mean? And I'm the director of HR, so I understand. Like your journey might not end here. It probably won't. But how can the work that you're doing here at this particular organization propel you forward in whatever way that looks like, or maybe can make you self-reflective in some shape or form. So I used to feel really guilty about going to things by myself. So I was like, no, I have to go to the movies with like my girlfriend or my boyfriend, or, oh, well, I can't like do this like fun restaurant thing if I don't have somebody with me. And I was like, I'm not waiting on nobody to give me joy. So I just go and do it myself. Like today, Ashley was trying to, what was it? It feels like whack-a-mole. You were trying to find me where I was this morning. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm getting my nails done. I'm going to yoga. Or, oh, I'm actually going to this restaurant. Actually, no, I'm going to go to this bakery. And you're like, girl, where the hell are you? And you do that too. Sometimes I'm like, I just see her, like, we share each other's location. I'm like, where are you, girl? And so I've been inspired a lot by you too. And I'm like, you know, I'm just going to just enjoy walking around, just seeing the sights, making sure, you know, I got these long nails just in case I got to scratch somebody. And not feel too guilty about it. And also be okay. I think I've slowly gotten out my shell and just like being a little like more friendly and just saying like, hello, how you doing? Because when I was younger, I was taught to like not look into people's eyes, not really converse with anyone, stranger danger. But I find joy in just having light conversation with folks, and then I never see you again. It's okay.
One of my new favorite practices is I get to make up an alter ego anytime I get in an Uber, and I just play out a whole story line, and it has brought me so much joy as a person who enjoys theater. I'm like, oh, well, you know, I got an Uber, I think it was earlier this week when I was heading to the hotel, and he was just like, oh, you're going to the airport. Where are you? I was like, I need to go on this very important mission for my brother. It was a part of his last wish. And he asked me to go to this place, this very specific beach in California, and to dump his ashes. But I may have already accidentally spilled them in the house. And so I tried to sweep them up, but I think my cat hair got in there. And he was just like, okay. But that's something that brings me joy, right? Like, is to be playful. And you know, I'm curious, what does pleasure or enjoyment look like for each of you in this season of life? Like, I really like to play. I love indulging in the arts. I love going to the movies. I love learning about new things that other people are passionate about. I love trying new things, new food, new restaurants. Like, as I was coming home last night, I saw on one of the billboards that at the Franklin Institute, which is our local science museum, that they have a really big exhibit that's going to be leaving, you know, they're like leaving soon. And I was like, oh my gosh, like I've been wanting to go there and I haven't been yet. So I'm going to try and prioritize going and playing in the museum that I saw in Abbott Elementary. Right. And so, for me, it just looks like very much so flitting around, exploration and play. But that brings me deep, deep pleasure in this season of life. And what does that look like for each of you?
Schmecks.
Yes.
But no, yes, also Franklin Institute, that's great. I was there for a date. It was a wonderful first date.
Yeah, we enjoy consensual intimacy between two adults.
It's wonderful.
That'll do it.
That'll do it.
That's it. Right there.
You taking me back. I was
I was like, back.
I was somewhere else, and she went somewhere
know.
else, and I'm like, okay.
But it's like I was with you in my head, but mine was more like attached to a city, and I was just like Houston.
My nigga.
Houston Bay, Ghana Bay. Yeah.
That brings me joy.
Yeah. But I mean, I think in general, I am learning to just feel a lot more confident in my body and my sensuality, because I was taught for so long that is not something I was allowed to have, to give access to. Like, as a fat Black woman, it's like, you're not attractive, nobody wants you, blah, 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 blah. And so now that I'm like, I don't care. Like, wow, they really meant it when they say the older you get, the less fucks you give.
It's true.
Can we curse? Okay, I just cursed, sorry. So yeah, I'm like, I don't care anymore. And if you like me, great. If you don't, that's fine. I'll find somebody else. And so I've been actually doing a lot more like body movement stuff that I usually don't, because I also work from home, so I am pretty static during the day. So when I recall to my therapist all the things I do, I'm like, it's because for 5 days out of the week I'm just sitting behind a computer. So on the weekends I go hard mode a little bit to kind of like and I'm trying to find the balance. I don't think it should be an extreme, but like I was telling Ash that, you know, I'm starting this hula hooping class. I'm trying to learn how to swim. I'm taking some pole dancing classes, like just more movement stuff. I may or may not start this Afro-Brazilian like martial arts dance thing. Just, I want to engage my hips more, because a lot of trauma and like hurt is stored in the hips.
Yeah.
And so that is bringing me joy, and just being like, this is the body that is my temple and my sanctuary, and I'm going to love it for how it is right now. Especially kind of trying to figure out what it means to be in my body that is actively attacking me with this autoimmune disease. And so I'm like, well, do I even have access to agency with my body with this thing I can't control? And I'm like, I absolutely still do. So yeah, that's how I tap into joy and pleasure.
I just said the first thing.
Hold on, let's just get that out the way.
That's like the ultimate joy. I would say my joy comes from just I'm happy when I go to Oklahoma and I'm just with my kids. Like, I just love watching them play sports, and I just like, I mean, I have like a 15-year-old son, and he's just growing into this man, and it's like I'm missing it a little bit, but I'm not, because I mean, you know, I'm there. I see him often, or he's up here for the summer, things like that. But it's just like every time I see him, he's like a new person. So I just find joy really in my kids and my nephews, watching whatever venture that they're into for the moment. But when I think about myself, because when I'm here, because I'm not from Philly, I don't really know what to do a lot of the time. So I am trying to venture out a little bit more. Like, I don't really have any friends here or people to do things with. So I do have to go by myself. Those are things I've never done before. And I have been doing it a little bit more. Join like a group. It's called Pretty Girls Jog, and it's been fun. Yes, it's been fun. It's like I'm different than a lot of those girls or those ladies, those pretty girls. I'm different than a lot of them because I'm really reserved until I'm comfortable, and I haven't kind of got comfortable yet. So I'm just trying to, just get out of my shell a little bit and really figure out what I like aside from being a parent. I haven't figured that out yet, but the journey is fun. But I just want to be loved on. So it's like, it's fun, but this other part of me comes back and I'm like, dang, here I am about to get in this bed and watch Love Island or something. Like, so I don't know. Like, I'm kind of at a weird place with like finding that.
I appreciate it.
I would say I think I'm rediscovering my joy. I like to cook. Um, and there was a time where I like stopped cooking because I was just like burned out and just like I didn't have capacity. I was just tired. I didn't want to do it. I was like, what we ordering? But cooking is one of my love languages. If I cook for you, that means I love you. I know I cooked for you. That's how I got my husband. I trapped him with Taco Tuesday. I did. But I'm getting back into cooking more. So instead of me cooking every day, because that's never gonna happen, I'll cook maybe like 3-4 times a week this time. But it just gives me a chance to like taste and test different things. I'll try new recipes. I started. What did I do this week? A shrimp scampi that we had. I made from scratch. It was delicious. I wish I would have took a picture. I didn't. But those little things bring me joy, and then watching people eat my food. That makes me happy too.
I can just see you. I'm sorry, you like light up as you talk about this.
Like, my husband hates it because I'll like try something new and I give it to him and I'm just like, you like it?
You like it? It's good, right?
You like it? It's good. And wait for him to take the first bite. But yeah, so cooking, and then we're trying to get back into traveling. Before we had extra kids, when we just had my oldest, we used to travel a lot, and didn't have to be like far places. We did like hiking adventures on weekends and stuff like that. We'd go to the movies. We go to New York to the American Dream Mall, like stuff like that. We went to Vegas and Florida and stuff like that. So I want to get back into traveling because I love seeing new things. But then that parent guilt comes back in because I'm like, ooh, I want to bring the kids. I don't want to just like, all right, grandparents, y'all watch the kids. I want my kids to experience things too, so they can experience it like I wish I did when I was a kid. So cooking, traveling, and my children. That's about it.
I love that.
And my husband. Sorry.
We already know.
Implied.
He's included.
Right? And I think it's so important that we name the things that bring us joy and pleasure for ourselves and say it out loud and actively make choices and decisions that do that or help us to figure that out, even if we're not 100% sure. I really appreciated what you said because my mom, she recently texted me and she was just like, I don't know what to do to have fun. And I was just like, this is a very random and weird text. But she was just like, no, for real. Like, she was like, I feel like I'm in a season of life. All of her kids are adults. And she's in a space now of being like, I want to actually enjoy my life for me, but has zero clue what that means and what that looks like at this point in time. And so, you know, knowing my mom my whole life because I'm her child, right. I was like, well, you like the arts or like you like these things. Like, why don't you try this? Or what, have you considered that? And so, you know, maybe when we have a follow-up to this episode, I can give an update, but she is thinking about signing up for like a pottery class or a paint and sip class or something of that nature where she can kind of just be in her creative bag. Like my mom is a huge DIYer, but doesn't consider herself an artist. Gotcha. And so I think it'd be a lot of fun. And I reminded her when it comes to these things, it's not about trying to do something with the goal of it being perfect or with the goal of it being something that you have to monetize at some point in time, but deeply to just enjoy the being in the practice of the thing. And so that makes me really, really excited about, you know, remembering and recognizing it doesn't matter where you are on your life's purpose, path, or journey, you always have access to being able to find joy and pleasure as long as you make the time and the intentionality for it. So I am loving this so much. We are on to our final sets of questions, right? So as I had mentioned previously, this the idea behind this episode was to really have a space where we can talk about our life experiences, our inner worlds, and the things that are important to us. Throughout this conversation, we recognize that we all have very different thoughts and experiences, priorities, and things in the way in which we engage with these things. And a part of this is that our lovely, illustrious, wonderful hosts wanted to know from our perspectives, what are some of the things that we wished and wanted those that love us or want to love on us to also know from us, from our own words, how can we be loved on better? So last couple of questions. And this is to the brothers and the listeners. You know, what do we need? What do you need for the other folks in your life to know about where you're at on your own journey? If you could talk to them directly, whether it be a single person or multiple people, what would you want to tell them about where you are on your own journey? I can start. I'll start. I'll tell people. I may still be figuring this out, but I know what I'm doing. I allow myself the space and the capacity to move through this life experience in a way that feels good to me. And that doesn't make sense to you. And if that doesn't make sense to you, that's between you and your God, because I am at peace with me and mine. I would also want other folks to know that my past choices don't define where I am and don't define where I'm going. And there is no singular way that I express myself that is the totality of who I am, because I am multiple things and I embrace this multiplicity of my own self. So don't try and box me in, because you're going to be mad every single time I push back against that. I'm still growing. I don't have it all figured out, and I am okay with that. And to love me is to walk alongside me on this journey without judgment and with deep care.
Ashayo.
Yes.
I think I would tell my people to be curious about me, be gentle and patient. I am slowly kind of cracking out of this shell that was both societally created and also internally created. I'm a Cancer, so like crab, shell, home, sanctuary. It's where we be. Yeah. I'm redefining what home means to me. I would say to them, you know, find your home and we'll find home together. And set boundaries with me so we can set boundaries together. I think sometimes with my folks, we're both moving in silence and mind matter and mind reading, and I'm like, say the first thought. That's what I've kind of like set as a practice. Like, just say the first thing. Be messy. Let me be messy with you. Let's communicate. Let's figure it out, and know that, you know, God has changed, change is God, and it's okay for us to change. It's okay for us to transform. It's okay for us to move through, because I too am changing. But let's find ways in which we can ground each other through the storms of life. Yeah.
I guess I can go. The first thing I want to say is be gentle with me. I know a lot of times dealing with me, it could almost seem like a little bit of a storm is flowing through, only because I'm very indecisive with a lot of things, whether it's food or what do I want to do, what I want to wear. I'm very indecisive. Where we're going to live, what job am I going to do, what career path am I going to follow. I'm very indecisive, and it's just because I always have so much on my mind and so many moving parts in my life that I have to consider, not just myself. So definitely being gentle with me as I go through different stages of grief with leaving the organization I was with, losing my father, being away from my children, just trying to figure out life. Also be loving with me, because I'm a big loving person with everyone, and I just like that reciprocated more. Just, I think, what is it? What is the word I'm looking for? Just, consideration. I think a lot of times people lack consideration when it comes to me, and I'm only considering them. So just the consideration and the thought of me, as a woman who's trying to figure things out and who's trying to be softer, you know, just more consideration, and also communication. I feel like we all lack communication in ways. We communicate in our styles, but we don't consider how another person may communicate. So it causes everyone to clash when things could be so simple. And just, I mean, that's overall. There we go.
A shame.
What I think people who are in my circle, in my space, should know is this Ashley is not the old Ashley. So you can't expect the things that I was accepting before to be accepted now. I'm learning, I'm growing, like I said in the show, I'm learning new things about myself, I'm putting up new boundaries. And so the energy that you're going to give to me may not be reciprocated. And that also goes to my relationships with friendships, families, and things like that. I was always the one who was like reaching out to people, and people weren't reaching back out to me. So in this season of my life, I am dissolving anything that doesn't fit my space right now. If it's not bringing me joy, if it's not serving me and pouring into me like I'm pouring into it, I'm just going to put that cup somewhere else. So I'm at that space where I'm just like, I need communication. If that's not your strong suit, if you can't give back to me the energy that I give back to you, just say that, and then we can figure out something else. But ghosting and things like that, that's not gonna be working in my space. As well as being patient. Like I said, I'm learning things about myself. I have so many things going on: ADHD, empathy, OCD. I'm a lot. I'm a lot. But just be patient with me, because I'm learning how to navigate through all that, and in learning about it myself, I can help you navigate through it too with me. So I can teach you how to communicate with me a little bit better, so there isn't anybody bumping heads or having miscommunications or anything like that. So just give me grace, and I'll give you the same grace. So
I love that. And that dovetails perfectly into my next question, which is a bit of a vulnerable question. So feel free to share what feels comfortable and aligned for you. But what does support look like for you in this season? What is it that you need, right? We've said the things, and what do we need you all to know to orient to that? But what is it, the things that we wish for, want, and desire from the connections and relationships in our lives? So for example, Tosh, you said consideration. You said recognizing I'm in a new place now. So support for me in this season of life looks like showing up consistently enough that, or in a way that is consistent for you, right? I don't necessarily need every friend or every person in my life or every lover to be an everyday check-in person.
Yes.
That is not what I wish for, want, or desire. But what does it look like for us to have meaningful connection and communication that isn't always one-sided or only initiated in one way or in one direction? Support for me also looks like trying to take a thing off my plate before and asking for it. I also recognize the limitation within that is that there are relationships and connections in my life that are new, so people don't really even know what's on the plate to take in the first place. But for those that do know, in the ways in which they can do that is so helpful. I told Precious maybe like 2 months ago, I had a lover come visit me in town for a week, and by the time they left my house that week, every single dish in my house was clean. Every single garment of clothing in my house was clean. My house was swept. My cat litter was changed. The couch was put together. My dresser was built. Like it was. I was like, when he left, I was like, Dang, like I didn't even know that these were things that I needed, but because my own personal capacity was so limited, this person was able to say, how can I show up in love for this person and just do without necessarily having me to ask or have them or ask for that to be facilitated in that way. So that is what deep support looks like. And also for folks to check in on me, I very much so can be the what you need, I got you. Or I love you, I care about you. Let me lift you up because you on my heart kind of person. And I recognize I love in that way because I like to receive love in that way. And that doesn't necessarily come naturally to all the people in my life that I care about. And so that is what support and love and affirmation for me looks like in this season. And play with me. Like, let's go hang out. Let's have fun. Like, let's go be in enjoyment together. So yeah, that's what support looks like for me and loving on me looks like in this season.
So what support looks like for me, I think, is community. Just having people who are there who, like y'all said, checking on me sometimes, not just checking on me so you can tell me about what's wrong with you, like seeing how I really am and don't make me feel bad for telling you how I really am feeling. And I also think when the community aspect of it, just having people to just be like, hey, you want to go have a drink today, or let's go do something, or just to get me out. Sometimes I can get to where I just stay in my room after work and I don't really like to do anything. And I don't know, it could be depression. I don't know what it is, but I was supposed to do something last night and I was like, I don't even want to go. And so that I definitely need that because I should have went. There was no reason for me not to go. I just didn't. And then like that love, and just like and compassion, but just not checking, but like you said, stepping in where you see I may need something. Like you see that, you know what, she really been saying she want this MCM purse. Let me just go get her one. No, just
no, you're not kidding, and that is quite all right. Okay,
like
she like that Brandon Black one.
Like really hearing me and hearing the things that it's just like. Just hearing me and just like really catering to some of the things that I just deep down like need or want, and usually it's not monetary. Usually it's just that affection or just somebody to consider that, dang, let me make sure her day is okay. Like I think I just desperately need that in a bunch of flights. But yeah.
Always that.
That's it.
Yeah. What do I need? What support do I need in this season? I am an overthinker. And so I love it when I receive support where I don't have to think just for a moment. So yes, it could be doing the task, getting my garden together, installing an AC unit, doing all those things. But just the literal like brain process of planning, like, shit, I gotta do this, gotta do that. My Google Calendar looks crazy on all the things I've gotta do. And so being able to just sit back and say, and trust, I got it. Just show up. That's all you gotta do.
Do what you say you're going to do.
And do what you say you're gonna do. If you say that you're gonna do it, do it. And then I can just breathe for a second, and sometimes I psych myself out like this isn't real, but I have to remember that if someone's being true and genuine to receive it. And so that's really wonderful. For me, I'm like, be chalant about me.
Say it again.
Be chalant about me. I want no nonchalant people. Friends, lovers, family. Don't play about me. I won't play about you.
Yeah.
And make it expressly clear. Like, I love you. I care for you. I'm showing up for you. And it's not just like, oh, well, you know what it is. No, I don't. Actually, I don't know what this is at all. Even if you're just a friend or you're just a lover or you're my future partner, I want you to be clear about your desire to be in my life. And that is support. Because it's like, oh, I know I can call on you. I know that you are a consistent person through your actions and your words. They align.
I don't know how I'm supposed to follow up after all of y'all. If y'all just wrapped all three together,
I need it all.
That was basically it. But yeah, showing up definitely is a way that you can definitely support me. And I'm not saying that in a romantic sense. I'm saying that more in like a friendship and other family dynamics. That's.
That can be
much. I ain't got that much.
You can be complete with that.
Yeah,
That
one
can
more
be
thing.
complete. Sure, please.
For me, reassurance.
Mm.
A lot of times, I think as an overthinker, I just need a little bit of reassurance that things will be okay. I forgot that word. I was looking for it though, but you helped me
It
find
found you.
it.
Yes.
I got one.
Okay.
Give me the option.
Ooh, say more.
Give me the option. Friends, family, whoever. If you don't invite me to stuff, I'm never going to know that it was something to be. So include me. Give me the option to say, yeah, I'll come, or yeah, I'll bring the kids. We'll come on out to the cookout or whatever. Give me the option. Don't just decide for me, and then that's where miscommunication and things happen. So give me the option. Just
And know that I might say no, and that's okay.
Right.
And that's okay. And that's okay.
and don't
too.
stop giving me the option. Keep giving me the option.
Right. I love that. Oh my gosh, this conversation has been so good. So good. To wrap up, I would love to hear from each of you a word, a phrase, a hashtag that you are taking with you from this conversation today. I'm so grateful. But I'll give y'all a moment to think about that. Well, I almost wanted to say, while we thank our sponsors. But we ain't got no sponsors yet. Almost. Soon enough. So I think my hashtag is love big. Love big. There is so much love that each of us have and hold and have the capacity to also receive. So love big is kind of my hashtag that I'm putting together from our conversation today.
I think my hashtag from our conversation would be save space. Save space for yourself, save space for your joy, save space for grieving, save space for your friends. Just save space. Save space.
It's kind of a long one.
That's all right. That's all right.
Mine's a short.
But embrace the depths of your oceans. Yeah.
Mine align with yours.
Say more.
I'm a Cancer girl. Like I said, I've got water all up and down my chart. And I used to be afraid of how emotionally intuitive, I don't say intense, intuitive I am, but it's a gift. And so I want to embrace that part of me and share it with the world more. This has gotten me out of my comfort zone, but my spiritual mentor said, do it. And I was like, okay. So yeah, just embracing the fullness of who I am, and whoever is brave enough to swim these waters, you're not going to drown unless you have to.
Respectfully?
Yeah.
I love it. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think mine would be to let it flow. Hashtag let it flow.
Yeah.
Just at first I was a little nervous, and then I just flowed with everything, and then it just all flowed into something that was amazing. So yeah, let it flow.
I love it here so much. Thank you again so much. Bridget, Ashley, Precious, to the team of the Traumaless podcast. We are back at it again. Thank you all so much for letting us close out your season. What? And I'm super excited and can't wait till we come back for season 2. Thank you so much.
Thank
With all our
you.
love.
And thank you.
Break it down now.
Hills got beats.
You can like fix my name.
Yeah. Latoya. Do we gotta
I
run that
mean,
one
he
part
could
back?
like fix
You wanna run that
it,
one
you
part
know.
back again?
Just do a voiceover.
Do asterisks at the bottom.
I'm so sorry. And you know what's crazy? Because you said Bridget earlier.
I
And,
said Latoya, but everybody call me Bridget.
and in my brain, I was like, I don't even remember. I couldn't think past Bridget. And I literally said this while we were in the other room. And I was just like, in my mind, I was like, fuck, don't say Bridget. And I was just like,
And Bridget's fine too. Like
I didn't
my
know.
family call me Bridget, so my work people call me Latoya, so I kind of just go by both.
Hell yeah. You want to pause here?